Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's that retired guy who's lived through the 60s twice and is still having fun. Now one thing that I wouldn't class as fun but is one of the most important things I do is take care of my teeth. Now many of you are like me. You grew up back in an age where care and guidance wasn't as great as it is today. We had a mouthful of silver fillings and we went to the dentist only when something was wrong. And that happened probably more often than we'd like. There wasn't a lot of solid guidance on how to brush except for the Crest commercials, which were on all the time.
With Crest, you put this fluoride on your teeth at home, too. Prevent cavities. Use Crest.
And you even had to move your toothbrush by yourself. It was positively medieval. But it's never too late to learn some good habits and give yourself the best chance to keep your teeth healthy and with you all the way to the end. But what makes me qualified to speak to dental care at all? Well, 5 root canals, 8 crowns, 5 fillings, 1 implant, and 1 splint. I'm a guy that really has to listen to his dentist, so I am uniquely qualified to speak to what to do about your teeth. Now, what is a dental splint, you might ask? No, it's not that. Turns out that my lower front teeth are not anchored well. In fact, if I bite into an apple the wrong way, I could lose some of them. The fact is that there is some gum recession, but they just have short roots.
And you know what they say about guys with short roots.
Anyway, what they do is they put a strip of cement on the back, anchoring those teeth to the incisors which are in their well. Now, I still can't bite into an apple, but I've become the world's foremost authority on cutting apple wedges. Now, some of my problems came from the alignment of my teeth. I really wasn't crazy about how they looked, and so I probably wasn't as diligent as I should have been with them. I didn't get braces till I was 28, but once I did, 2 years flat, and I was in business. Now, I also have some wear and some micro cracks around my molars. I'm really a mess, eh? In any case, what I have is a mouthguard that'll mitigate such damage, as it was suspected that I was grinding my teeth at night. Mouthguards come in a lot of different shapes and sizes depending on the issue. They can be as small as like your front teeth, or they can be large like mine, very common. Now, it was determined that there was another problem. I tap my teeth along to music. Maybe you do the same thing. I've been doing that, no doubt, since I was young. At home, in the car, I've tried stopping and it just doesn't work. Unconsciously, I start tapping again. So I probably should have listened to a lot less Who records.
We don't get fooled again.
And maybe more to the Carpenters. But Karen Carpenter did get named Drummer of the Year in a 1975 Playboy Readers poll. So maybe that wouldn't have solved the problem. You can look that up, by the way. So I still wear the mouthguard to work with the grinding issue. Now, if you need to wear a mouthguard, just make sure that you slide it into your teeth. Don't bite down on it to do it. And when you take it out, make sure you rinse it off very well. Once a week, maybe throw it into a 50-50 solution of peroxide and oxygen. Remember, bacteria hate oxygen, and it's easy as pie. Oh, and as a last thought, don't chew on ice. Ever, ever, ever. Really bad for your teeth. So let's get back to talking about taking care of your teeth. There's kind of a chicken egg thing between the dentist and your own routine. One can't work without the other. Let's talk about the dentist first. It's quicker. Make your appointments, don't miss them. Now first, they'll take a look at your gums. They'll look for any issues, compare them to how your gums were at the last visit, and look for progressive problems. Don't neglect your gums. Those teeth aren't going to hold themselves in. They look for cavities, from little ones that are just starting to whoa. They check bone density as necessary. They look for stress grinding issues like mine. They also look for alignment problems and things like that. And here's a few other insights. So I'm at the dentist office. If you're going to be in the office for a while, don't bring your wallet. You really want to sit on it for an hour. Get your insurance card out and leave the wallet in the car. Also, don't wear your Sunday best. There's a lot going on in here. You've got polishing, drilling, squirting. When it's all done, a lot of those drops can go well past this little napkin they give you. Also, do the dentist and hygienist a favor and brush your teeth and use your mouthwash before you come. I know they give you that cup of rinse, but that's the last line of defense. You don't want to count on that. You want to take care of business at home before you come. I know those garlic clams last night were great, and that exotic yogurt this morning was fabulous, but they don't need to smell that. So brush your teeth, use your mouthwash, come in here, use the rinse, and everybody should be happy. Make sure you go every 4 to 6 months or as directed. Make your appointment when you're leaving your last appointment and put it in your phone right away and don't miss it. And if there's minor pain and or bleeding in between visits, make sure you rinse at least twice a day with a 50-50 solution of peroxide and water. Remember, bacteria hate oxygen. And if it persists, make a call and get right back into the dentist's office. Your gums will thank you. So if you follow a good dentist routine, that takes care of 2 to 4 days a year. The other 360 plus days, though, are up to you. Let's talk about that. So whether you're a 30-year-old looking for a 50-year plan, or a 70-year-old just looking to hang on to what you've got, but of course, if you're lucky enough, it could be a 30-year plan. Look at George Burns. You need to pick up some good habits. Here's a few things that work for me, and I'll tell you why they work. Now, I developed an evening routine that should carry me all the way through. Remember, evening is the last chance you have before your mouth sits there for 8 hours straight, percolating and processing whatever's in there. Let's make it count. The two major components of your routine are brushing.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
And either floss or Waterpik. Let's build a solid routine around these. Okay, the first step to your routine is very simple but often overlooked. You rinse. Now you may have been eating some Oreo cookies or munching some nuts. Let's get rid of all that before we really start in. Now you don't have to blow your cheeks way out and really rinse hard. Again, blowing your cheeks out all the time for the next 30 years might give you jowls like this guy. So just keep it simple. A little bit of water. A little bit of swish, and that's your step. Step 2, often overlooked again, because if you are using a Waterpik or a flossing, do a little pre-brush. And what that does, again, it loosens things that are in there and makes the whole process just a little bit more efficient. You grab your toothbrush and just go in and give it a quick once-over. A little rinse. And now you're ready. Okay, for step 3, let's get serious. You grab the floss or the Waterpik. Now for me, there's no contest. Floss just creeps me out. It's a self-induced paper cut that you do 30 times in a row. So for me, it's not happening. I'm a Waterpik guy. Now, hating floss and not getting into Waterpik until later in life probably didn't do my teeth any good. As if I needed a reminder. It takes only a little practice to get used to the Waterpik. You'll have the hang of it in no time. And the controls are simple. First, you've got the reservoir where you fill up with water. Then you've got the wand, which is where the water jet comes from. You've got the pressure control, which controls the force of the water. And then you've got the on-off switch. Pretty simple. So here's what to do. So I fill up the reservoir about 3/4 full. You'll decide what's right for you after just a few tries. Once I have the water in there, I use warm water, by the way, feels better. I tip in a little bit of mouthwash. That's at the suggestion of my dentist. And then once or twice a week, instead of mouthwash, I use some peroxide. Remember, altogether, bacteria hate oxygen. This helps take care of that as well. Now the wand of the Waterpik should be placed in your mouth before you start. Sounds simple, but a lot of people don't catch on to that right away. Okay. Oh, shit. She's gonna kill me. Jeez. I guarantee you, I'll never forget. The last thing, make sure your pressure control is properly set. Now my dentist said start out at 3 and you work your way up to about a 7. That sounds fair. But then I thought to myself when I started, you know what? What else could go wrong with my teeth? Why don't I just set it to 10, start there, and get the max cleaning I could? What the heck? From now on, I think I'm setting it to 7. Okay, we're ready to start. I've done my rinse, I've done my pre-brush. There should be nothing left in here, so let's see what this thing can do. Boy, this thing really works good, doesn't it? Okay, enough of this tomfoolery. Let's take things seriously because we should be taking our teeth seriously. I've got the reservoir filled, I've got the wand at the ready, I've got the power set to my 7, and I'm ready to turn things on. What you do is you put the wand in and you start at the back and you move along the gum line all the way across the top of the teeth. Let me demonstrate. As you go, you really don't have to spit, so to speak, because the water will really flush out because you're bending down. And as I said, I like this a little bit better than floss. Well, I hate floss anyway. But as you go across the teeth, you're getting all of the gum line around the tooth, not just in between as you do with floss. I think that's more efficient and better for those of us who have a little issue with our gums. So as you move on, do the top, and then do the back of the top teeth. Don't forget the back. That's where most of the food is when you're eating. And then do the bottom, and then the inside of the bottom. I'll quickly demonstrate. Won't take too long. Obviously, that was a lot more quickly than you would have done it in normal speed. Nevertheless, make sure you get all those teeth, top and bottom, and you've done yourself a very good rinse. Now, when you're done, you just hang up the wand and you rinse out the reservoir. Just get some water in there. Make sure it's rinsed clean because you've got mouthwash and peroxide in there. Now, leave a little in the bottom. And you take the wand and you run some through. What that does, it'll rinse out all, whatever you've got in there, the peroxide or the mouthwash, and just leave it with clean water. Now, I don't know for a fact that peroxide and mouthwash are not good for this. They're corrosive chemicals though, so I would say even if they're not doing it any harm, they're certainly not doing it any good. So rinse it out and run out the reservoir. I turn it upside down so it'll dry. You also can run this through the dishwasher. Every once in a while, Waterpik says it's safe. You do that, dry off your wand, and that's your total maintenance on your Waterpik. And you're ready for the next time. Now, as I said, you may not like the Waterpik, it may not be for you, but if you don't, use the floss. One or the other, it's the best thing for your teeth and your gums. So now we come to the final step, the obvious one, brushing your teeth. Now, why do we use the Waterpik before we brush our teeth? Well, we have to give the chemicals in the toothpaste a chance to do their thing. And the Waterpik would just, wash them away. By the way, if you're going to take any pills, nighttime pills, take those before you brush your teeth as well. Now, when it comes to your toothbrush, get yourself an electric if you can. The big gorillas in the industry are Sonicare and Oral-B. I happen to like the Oral-B, but either one's fine. The Sonicare is kind of fun because it vibrates like an old 1960s bull of a tuning fork watch. It just so happens I don't like them as much. But get one or the other. Your hand can just not match the cleaning power of the electrics. So when you're ready to brush, you only need a little bit of toothpaste, about the size of a pea. That's it. Remember the old toothpaste commercials when they used to load them up? They sure sold us a lot of extra toothpaste back in the day. Anyway, why do we use toothpaste? Well, it's because of the fluoride, no matter what this guy says. Now, the fluoride can strengthen the enamel, it can even remineralize it, and it protects against bacteria, which can cause cavities. Now, I use Sensodyne Repair and Protect, which has stannous fluoride. Now, stannous fluoride is a little bit better than sodium fluoride, which is a little bit more common, but it's better for my gums. That's the difference between the two. Your dentist can work with you on what's right for you. And by the way, those whitening toothpastes, if you use those regularly, they can be like sandpaper on your enamel. Again, chat with your dentist about that. Now, when you start to brush, you take your toothpaste, and again, a pea size gob, that's it. And what I do is instead of just starting into brushing, I spread it around all the teeth first. Remember, the name of the game is getting the chemicals from the toothpaste to bond with every tooth that you have. So what I do first is like this. It's just a quick smear around the mouth, but now instead of concentrating the toothpaste right where you start, it's all over your mouth. One interesting thing, if you guys are like me, you right-handers, for example, you always started in brushing this way on your teeth. Take a look at your two top teeth, and I'll bet you have a little higher gum recession on your left front tooth than you do on your right. Take a look. My dentist pointed that out to me, and it's just one of those, how about that moments. Now when you start to brush, start at the back, probably on the top, and move all the way across. Do the back of that, and then do the bottom, and again, the back of that. Kind of like you did with the Waterpik. You don't have to start in the middle. This way you get every tooth. Now you don't have to press hard. Let the brush do the work, that's what it's made for. You use a circular motion, not an up and down, more of a circular. Again, the way to do that is to concentrate on brushing every tooth individually. If you put that in your head, you'll catch that circular motion and you will brush every tooth individually. Remember what I always say and what the dentists always say. Only brush the teeth that you intend to keep. And doing it that way will make sure that you brush every tooth. Let me give you an example. And so on. Again, make sure you get up to the gum line and don't press hard. These guys know what they're doing. Now, as you brush, don't stop to put extra rinse on the toothbrush and so on. A lot of us do that. But all that does is get rid of some of the toothpaste and puts more water on the brush and brushes away the chemicals. What you do is you don't stop until you're done. If you have a little excess building up in your mouth, certainly spit it out. Don't swallow. Toothpaste is actually very bad for you to eat, but it's great for you to keep on your teeth. But you go all the way through until you're complete, spit out the excess, and then you're done. Now it's recommended that you brush for 2 minutes. It sounds like a long time. However, if you get in the habit of brushing each tooth individually, as I noted, 2 minutes will be just about the time. I was surprised once I got into that better habit. And your toothbrush, the Sonicare and the Oral-B, are set up to give you a little notice when 2 minutes is up. It'll just give a little stutter in the vibration. And you'll know that it's up, but you'll know when you're done. Again, when you're done, spit out any excess, but don't rinse your mouth any more than you have to. Maybe a little bit to get the excess off your lips, but let the chemicals bond with your teeth for the next 30 minutes. The last thing you do at night should be brushing. If you have any pills to take, and certainly the Waterpik, do those first. And then once your toothpaste is on your teeth, leave it there. You'll get better results. Now, maintenance is easy. All you do when you're done is really rinse out your toothbrush well and dry it. A lot of us forget to do that. And the handle as well, since that's gotten wet. And that's it. Now these heads, which are removable, are made for about 200 to 300 brushes, about 2 to 3 months. Set yourself a calendar reminder once you put a new one in there. Another thing to look out for is, here's an old one, the bristles will start to turn yellow. They're made to do that to show that they're worn. So you can probably see this one, that was well ready to go. So once that happens, you don't have to count, just replace your brush head and you'll be set and ready to go. Now if you want to do some maintenance between brushes, or let's say you're traveling without your Waterpik and maybe you don't like to use floss, keep some of these around. So these are those little rubber picks. Now I like these better for a couple of reasons than those bristles. The bristles just seem very abrasive. They often don't fit in between your teeth. And these with the curved area, they get right in there and they can act like mini floss and a mini Waterpik. So use those along with your rinse and you'll find these very useful to get things out of your teeth in between for that period that you don't have a Waterpik handy. Altogether, these steps and tips make for a pretty solid routine. I'm sure you'll adjust them to what your needs and beliefs are. But if you're reasonably diligent and stick to them the rest of your life, you have a chance, a very good chance, of keeping your teeth healthy and keeping them in your head the rest of your life as well. And that's the name of the game, isn't it?
It's a great feeling.
So that's it for the video. I hope you saw some things that'll be useful for you. Remember, I got behind in the game early on, and I've rallied back, and I'm right back in it. So if you saw something that was helpful and you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. I'd sure appreciate it. And make sure you share it with anybody else that might find it useful as well. And don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you catch all the nutty content that might be coming up in the future. This is that retired guy who's lived through the 60s twice and is still having fun. So long, everybody.